Hey everybody, this will
Hi.
be the first video. If you know me already, I'm Donnie. That's my wife Cheryl.
Hello.
All right, and this video will probably be titled OMG, where do I start? But first, let me start by explaining. So I guess technically I did know where to start. I'm going to explain to you the mess that I have in my head. All right, so let me grab this phone and I'm going to walk you around for a second. If I can get it out of the hole. Please hold. Wow, off to a great success. All right, let's see what I got going on here. I don't know how to turn this thing around, so we'll just have to do it like this. All right, so this is the issue. See this cool little boat right here? I don't know how well you can see it. It's a little 12-foot jet boat that I've been trying to get off my neighbor for quite a few years now. And I finally was able to. It needs a lot of work, but it's going to be a lot of fun when it's done for tubing out here on the river and whatnot, right? But the problem is we have a very small backyard, all right? So let me walk you through it here. A couple of weeks ago, my wife and I had a brain fart. We decided what we needed was these two big old carports here, which have come in quite handy. I wish it was a garage instead. Sadie's back here weed whacking for me because she eats all the weeds. And they took up more space than what I was expecting, all right? And then I had this brain fart of, now that the boat's in my little tiny yard, I kind of need to put it beside this carport right here. But that daggone shed is in the way. But that daggone garden is in the way, right? Which, by the way, we're all about repurposing stuff around here, right? So, a while back when the kids were still sharing a bedroom, a couple of them have grown and gone now, but we have a couple still young enough to be here with us. And we had an old set of bunk beds that I made for them because we're not rich folks, so we had to get some lumber, and we built them some bunk beds, right? So as you notice, this lumber down here, it isn't exactly treated, but we repurposed it. We tore the bunk beds down instead of throwing it apart. We built this big garden, right? And we got only thing we bought was some tin roofing to use for the sides. Something my wife seen on Pinterest or something, and I did my best to make it happen. And it was a huge success. As you can see, I got tomatoes everywhere. We just had to tear a bunch of plants out because we're gonna have to move. Now we gotta move the garden to move all that other crap over here. So I moved the strawberry patch here. Now I'm gonna make half of the garden over here, and we're just gonna do away with the other half because I think it was a little too much. I think the garden was a bit big. We were having too much food. And then just to go back on the repurposing, what I had left over from that, I don't know if you can see it on there, I made a little shed, little roof to cover my outdoor AC unit, right? Pretty smart. Big brain moment. All right. So what I've got to do right now is, man, that wore me out just talking about it. So what I'm going to do now is put this phone back over there in that holder, and I'm going to move this little tiny truck out of my way, and then I'm going to drag that big sucker, or that little sucker. It feels big when you're pulling it by hand. Drag it over here out of my way, because my wife and I got to pick up all this extra, which I'm about to show you again. I'm talking way too much, but how else are you going to know what's going on? Well, all the extra tomato plants and eggplants that we pulled up yesterday. And hopefully, someday soon, what we want is we want to find a piece of property and make like an off-grid cabin somewhere. And maybe eventually, in a few years, when the youngest graduates, we really like the idea of having a little homestead, right? And I thought that was a great idea. It was my wife's idea. I don't know if you can see her or not. That was her idea, but I like it. So we're honing our gardening skills, and I'm already a pretty decent carpenter. I'm not the best, but I can get her done. All right, so let me move this crap out of the way, and then we're going to clean up some tomatoes, and we're going to get the grass mowed down real quick. I'm not going to make you watch me mow grass. If I do, I'll see if I can figure out how to time lapse it. And then I got to start disassembling part of this garden so I can move it over out of the way. So again, I can move that boat into that hole. No, not that hole. That hole. And I'm thinking that I'm going to put a garage where those carports are, because I like the way that worked out. But I feel like I'm a circus. Now, which with all these crazy people that live here, that's probably accurate, especially the dogs, and the kids, and me. Well, that's everybody except my wife. She's not the circus. She's the ringleader of the circus. Okay, so enough about that. Let me put this thing back in the holder, move this crap out of my way. I'll try to time lapse this part so you don't have to watch it in real time. All right, thanks for watching. And I never thought I'd hear myself say this, but click the like button and subscribe if I set this up right and it works. Thank you. Please hold now. My phone is too big for this little tiny holder. I'm gonna break it. Can you see? Here, let's start with the Ranger. Okay. Honey, feel free to talk to him or move the camera as he's moved. This part's really exciting as I move the Ford Ranger. I don't fit in this thing, by the way, if you can hear me. I need a full-size truck if we're going to homestead. This is not it.
Him and his little 1989
Pretty hot in here.
Ford Ranger. There we go.
One done. Now for a fun part. All right, honey. Move that but so they can laugh at me. Or you can film me if you want. Holy moly.
He's always doing stuff like this. There he goes, moving the boat by hand.
That's normal, right?
And normal stuff. Especially around these necks. Oh yeah, there he goes. Now it takes up the whole driveway. But now he's got a mess over there that needs mowed.
Yeah. So, all right, I'm going to try to pause. I don't know if it'll let me restart or not. If not, I'll have to figure out how to edit it. All right, so I got to go mow. I'm not going to make you watch that part. Be right back.